Our last guest of the day, he was just in action a couple of weekends ago, fighting actually in that part of the world, in Dade County, to be exact, in Miami, karate combat against Robelis Despaigne. It was a kind of a wacky event in that it got super delayed. There was some talk of it getting canceled. They figured it out last minute. And then, of course, in the end, it didn't quite work out in his favor. He is kind enough to join us to talk about it all. Of course, I'm speaking about Smilin' Sam Alvey, who is here, right here and now, to talk about the fight. There he is. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Still smiling.
Always, always. Even with the swollen eye, I'm always smiling.
How are you feeling? And there's a lot to get to, but just as I see a little bit of a black eye still. You've come a long way because I saw the aftermath. Immediately after the fight, you put out some videos. But how are you feeling? How is your face?
You know what? My face. Some people say it's killing them, but I'm doing all right. Everything's healing up all right. I'm practicing, not getting hit just yet, but I'm in the weight room, and yeah, just loving life. I wish I would have come away the winner, but I'm doing all right with it otherwise.
Okay, so no serious injuries.
Yeah, nothing. I honestly, I wasn't even concussed, and I would have sworn I could have been, but no, I had everything checked out, looked at, X-rayed, examined, and not even a concussion.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is great to hear. Can I ask you first about the event? There was all kinds of wackiness as far as like the delay of the start of the event, and then it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. From your perspective, you're in the back. What are you hearing? What are you being told about why the event isn't starting? And you're at the end of the card, so now your walk time is getting later and later.
Yeah, so we were supposed to leave the hotel at like 7:45, and then around 6:45 they said, "All right, we're not doing that. Everyone's getting pushed back an hour." And then an hour later happened and said, "All right, everyone's getting pushed back another hour." I said, "Okay, that's fine." Then I said, I better eat something because at this point I kind of had the feeling like it was going to be a blood night, and they shipped us over there, and then they kept saying, "All right, it's going to start in an hour, going to start in an hour, going to start in an hour." And it never did. I didn't get into the pit until about 3:30 a.m.
Wow. And how did that affect you? Like, what are you doing to pass the time? What are you doing to not get tired, to not get antsy?
Yeah, I've never really gotten antsy. I've never had that. I've always been pretty chill in there. I always have a good time fighting, and I try to have a good time, whether it's 3 in the morning or 7 at night. And I was just backstage hanging out with my crew, hanging out with my wife and my corners, and just having as good a time as I could. The hard part was because we didn't have a set time as to when I was going to fight. Is we didn't want to warm up too soon, and we didn't want to warm up too late. So we kind of did some mental math, and we winged it, and it turned out all right. I warmed up about when I needed to, but it was a strange feeling not knowing when I was going to get out there.
Sure. Were you getting lethargic? Were you getting tired? I mean, it was getting pretty late.
The adrenaline starts pumping, and I don't know if tired's what I would say, but you kind of wish it was earlier. You just want it to be done. The entire week of training, that last week, you wish the fight was there. You wish you didn't have to train anymore. You just wish, all right, I'm ready. And then you get there, and it just keeps getting pushed off by an hour, by an hour, by an hour, by an hour. And I was ready to get out there. So it's not that I was tired. I just, you just wanted it to be there.
Okay, so you've had a few days now to digest what happened, and obviously a lot of the talk centered around the referee and him not stopping the fight earlier, and I contributed to that. I thought that it was egregious on his part. I thought that the fight should have been stopped earlier for your own health and safety. Now that the time has passed a little bit, how do you feel about the way in which the fight played out, and how do you feel about the referee's decision to not stop the fight earlier?
Well, as far as the fight getting played out, I wish I would have zipped instead of zagged. That was my bad. That reach, I swear to goodness, that 84 inches of reach is just so hard to get a read on, and so that was my bad. As far as the referee stopping or not stopping it, I thought it was the perfect stoppage. I wish every fight stopped like that. I got hit, it was fine. I got back up. I got kicked. I got back up. I was fine. And I was defending myself as best I could. And if you watch the fight, I read his kick and I blocked his kick. So which means I was still intelligently defending myself. He just kicked through my block. And that's what eventually put me down. I thought it was a clean stoppage. I wish more fights were stopped like that. I wish more fights were, the fighter was given the chance to fight out of the deficit.
Okay. Do you mind? I want to be sensitive to you. Do you mind if we play some of the highlights and get your thoughts on?
Oh, go for it. Go for it. I love watching myself.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. So here's the fight from just a couple of weeks ago. Can you tell me what's happening here and what you're thinking, if anything, in these moments? That's the first knockdown.
Yeah, right there. Like, oh, that sucked. See, because he wasn't supposed to hit me right there. I thought my distance was good. I thought everything was fine. It was a hell of a crack. Now, right here, you get your feet. You're a little rocked. I thought, honestly, I didn't realize the round was still going. I thought the round had stopped because I didn't feel like he was on top of me. Now here, he goes for that kick. I blocked it. He knocked me over a little bit. I'm still paying attention. I still remember all of this. I still remember every part of it. I'm getting the takedown, trying to work myself back up. And I mean, I'm obviously getting beat up. And then he kicks through the block. But if you watch it again, I did block it. It just wasn't a good enough block.
Okay. And even despite all of that, some of those knocks, no concussion, nothing of that sort.
No, and damn thing. I remember all of it. I remember waking up. My wife was the first person I saw really when I was getting up, and I remember her saying, "You are amazing." That is what she said. That was the first words out of her mouth.
Wow.
And if you listen, I gave a post-fight speech. Everything was, ticking. And I don't know if it should have been, but it was.
There's no question that obviously you've been in this game for a very, very long time. You've seen and done it all. I do wonder, though, does your wife say, like, I don't want to see you get hurt anymore? I don't want to see you, get those shots?
Well, nobody wants to see it happen. I mean, if she doesn't, I don't. Nobody wants to see it happen. But I train so it doesn't. This was a big man, and he's hard to train for. I understand. I was the champion, and he was the number one contender, and I'll never turn on a fight. But I was very aware of how big and powerful he was going into it. And my game plan was I should have tweaked it.
Yeah. So there's no conversations like that, like without beating around the bush. You're going to keep fighting.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna let my brain rest for a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
he kicked the stuffing out of me, so I'm not looking to get back in the cage tomorrow. But no, I'm taking all the precautions I can. I'm doing everything I can to heal myself, both physically and mentally, and I'll get back in there. We're already talking. I mean, I'm definitely not going back to heavyweight. That big man scared me out of that weight class.
Okay.
So I'm going back down to 205, where I rightfully belong.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. You're the champ there, right?
Yes, I was the double champ. I was the greatest karateka that's ever been. And now I'm just one of the greatest karatekas that have ever been. I'm the
Okay.
light heavyweight champion. I've defended it twice, and I'm looking forward to defending it for a long time to come.
So sometimes with these, with these promotions and with Karate Combat and the delays and all that, people start coming after them and saying, they're crumbling, they're doing things wrong. You were there, you experienced, you fought for them, you've won multiple titles for them. What has your experience been like with Karate Combat? Are they growing? Are they figuring it out? Is a well-oiled machine? What are you feeling there when you're over there?
I feel like they care about the fighters more than anything. They do everything they can to make sure we get to perform in the arena, in the size of event that they promise us, and they do everything they can to do that. And I've been thrilled with that. No, like every budding organization, they're gonna come again. I mean, the UFC did. Even while I was fighting in the UFC has had problems, and this was definitely a problem. They'd be the first to admit it, but they're doing everything they can to make sure that problem doesn't happen again. And that's something a lot of the second, third, fourth biggest promotions in the world don't do. And Karate Combat is trying to make it so it never happens again. They're trying to make sure the fighters walk away feeling like they are the greatest in the world.
Okay, so you're happy there and you're not looking to go elsewhere.
No, I'm happy there. I really am. They've been very good to me. The resurgence of my career could not be understated or overstated. And I feel blessed with the opportunities they've given me. I've got some big fights potentially on the horizon. I know Uriah Hall, he's in the mix now, and I suspect he's going to be one of my next guys. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the roster they've got coming up. I know they've got events planned here in, I want to say February and March even. I don't know if they're doing one in January, but they've got fights coming up, and I'm looking forward to riding with them for a long time.
Okay. And by the way, I did notice, we've talked in the past how you're prolific on social media, on TikTok and these places. You did come out very quickly and defend the referee in question. You said, Stop blaming this guy. Why did you feel the need to do that?
I because everyone was hating on him, man.
Yeah.
And it was weird for me. So, like everyone tells me now, I've been fighting for a long time. When I started fighting, fights were over when the fight was over, and slowly over time, fights have been over when the referee says it's over. And I've never been a fan of that. I understand, and I know I'm a fighter, and the fighter's always going to want to go out and fight until the very end. But the fans used to be that way too, and now the fans are becoming more of a. They're gonna say they're gonna be okay whenever the referee stops, and the fans were very much going after a referee who I thought did an incredible job, and I wish more referees, gave the fighters the chance to fight out of it.
How much longer do you want to go, Sam?
As long as I can make a living with it, I truly am not injured. And I might be the oldest fighter that's ever that can say that. I don't have any lingering injuries. People tend to remember me being a stand and bang guy, but I'm really not. I've always been a one hitter quitter kind of fella, where I hit them and they fall over, or it goes to a decision. So even my head doesn't get hit that much as I'm fighting. I love this. I would do it for nothing. Don't tell Karate Combat I said that.
No.
Yeah, I I just enjoy. I get to travel the world. I get to meet people all over, from the elite pros to the beginning amateurs. I get to meet them, and because of what I've done, I mean something to them, and I just love the opportunity that fighting has presented me.
But you do know, it's not just about like the bones, the bruises. It also is the brain. And you did say just before that you're going to give your brain a rest. At any point, you feel like it's too many knocks.
No, I don't. And I am very conscious about that, because I've always thought myself to be a pretty sharp-witted fella, and I don't want to ever lose that. So I'm very careful with that, especially the last couple of years. I have fought far less than I used to. I used to have, 13, 14 fights in a year. Now I'm doing 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah.
I'm pulling back because my brain, I have 2 of everything. I have 1 of those. And I need to protect it. I plan on using it for a lot longer, and I'm doing everything I can right now to keep it as healthy as I can.
I see you're in the great outdoors over there, right? I see some wood behind you. I heard some great news that you got a couple of new emus. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a Christmas present for my wife. I got 2 emus, and we've wanted them for a while, and she finally, broke down and got me my emus.
Wow. And why are you so excited to have emus?
No, the little one. The Cindy Lou
They're such a cool bird. They are. Now, when I was in the UFC, my second oldest, Ivel, we went over to Australia, and so we went and saw a zoo out there, and there was a statue of an emu, and it terrified my child. It just terrified. We always call them the Ivel eaters. Ivel's my kid. And so they've always had a special place in my heart, because my wife and I, we just remember that moment where the statue of an emo was just interacting with him. He had a thing for it. And from that moment on, I said, I have to get him. So now Ivel's all grown up. He's 10 now. And he just loves him. He was the first one out there. He wants to feed him every day when he gets home. And he's all about these emus.
And where does one purchase emus from?
Here, I was in Sparta, Tennessee. There was an emu farm.
Wow.
We got their last 2. It looks like the owners of the farm, they're moving to Thailand. And so we had the last 2 emus. And apparently, so I've been learning about emus since I got them. Apparently, they mate for life. So I've got the 2. Cindy Lou is the girl, and then I have Ned is the boy. And I named him on the way home.
Why Ned, by the way?
Cindy Lou Emu instead of Cindy Lou. The mayor of Whoville is Ned. And so there's Cindy Lou Who, so now it's Cindy Lou Emu,
Yeah.
and Ned, the mayor of Whoville. I named him on the way home. Yeah, I'm just thrilled with them. I'm adding them. I've got pigs, I've got sheep, I've got horses, now I've got emus.
How many animals total?
So we say on our ranch, I think it's 108 heartbeats.
Wow, 108.
Yeah.
That is how many acres?
I've got 5 acres out here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and just love it. My neighbors are wonderful. Neighbors across the street, they've got like 100 acres that they welcome me to whenever they want, or whenever I want, and it's a good life out here.
Do you grow your own vegetables? Do you do that sort of thing?
No, I have too many chickens for that.
Ah,
We tried, and our chickens just thrashed our garden. And we've tried every year, and we keep trying different spots, trying to figure it out. And our chickens thrash it.
what are you looking at right now? Like, is it just all like what is on the other side of the camera?
Yeah, it's nothing much right over here. So they've got about 80 acres that way where there's a whole lot of nothing. There's a house right over there. There's my truck, kids trampoline. So it's just I'm just out
I
here,
love it.
just loving life. I was smoking a cigar here not too long ago, getting some work done around the farm, and yeah, just enjoying my time. It's warm here today. It's been cold. It's nice today. It's like 50 to 60.
I hear all kinds of like animals, like the cockle-doodle-doo, all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh, at all times. Yeah, you're lucky you don't hear my kids. I've got 3 of them inside right now, and I said I've got to go do an interview with Ariel.
Okay, okay,
You
okay.
guys got to leave me alone for a minute.
How many kids total now you got?
I have 6, and I like to say my wife and I aren't done. We're taking no precautions. We'll take what the good Lord gives us.
Oh my God, you are something else.
We adopted. We were foster parents out in California, so we adopted one of our kids, and we're trying to get back into the foster system out here. But because we have 6, the state doesn't want to give us any more.
Okay, okay. And what are the Alvey family holiday traditions? What are some of the things that you guys do?
We're gonna go see Santa Claus tonight. We're going to the Grand Ole Opry. We're gonna see Santa Claus tonight. My parents live on Alvey Mountain. It's a mountain about an hour and a half from us. So we're gonna go out there after Christmas morning. We're gonna have dinner with them. Let's see, today's Tuesday, so tomorrow night we've got church at night. We just do everything we can to be with the community. All my kids are in wrestling and jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and baseball and soccer, and they're more athletic than I ever was. And yeah, I get to coach a lot of it too, which is a lot of fun.
Even the baseball and the soccer and all that?
Soccer, no. Baseball, yes. And I'm not good at baseball, but I'm better than my kids, so I can still do it.
Okay. By the way, this Grand Ole Opry, I saw a clip of Jelly Roll talking about how, he went to see a concert there, and then Joe Rogan played him a clip of someone, and he started crying because he's now a part of the Opry. I never even heard of it. Is it some famous venue over there?
You've never heard of the Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
Crazy, right?
No, I believe it's older than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, Grand Ole Opry is, if you are a country music anyone, you have played the Opry, you're in the Opry, you're helping run the Opry.
Okay, so when he said, like, welcome to the Opry, that means he's kind of been inducted into the Country Hall of Fame? Is it sort of like that?
It's something like that. It's a big deal that he's in it. It's a lot of people, that's their entire goal. It's not to get that #1 song. It's not to be able to travel the world. It's to be able to get into that Opry. That he was in the Opry, that's something special.
Okay, last one for you. I remember a time you wanted to fight Jake Paul. He's fighting on Friday against Anthony Joshua. Who wins and how?
I like watching the Jake Paul fights. They're fun. He does a good job at selling it, but he's gonna get slaughtered. And oh man, he's gonna get slaughtered. He's fighting a real boxer who is significantly bigger than him. It's gonna be a bad night for Jake. And I don't want to say I'm pulling for him, but I'm looking forward to watching the fight.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Great to hear that you're in good health, great spirits as well. As always, I expect nothing less from you, Sam. All the best to you and the family. Happy holidays. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it as always.
Hey, you're very welcome. Hey, I got to give a special shout out to a game planning friend of mine,
Sure.
Eli McLennan. He's been helping me game plan, and I would have won this last fight had I listened to him a little bit better. But he's helped me win and hold my title, and I couldn't give more love to him.
Shout out to him. Well done. Appreciate that. Thank you, Sam. All the best to you, and get well soon, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, we'll see you soon, my friend.
Take care. There he is, the one and only, the inimitable, smiling Sam Alvey. What a guy. The way in which he speaks, it actually reminds me a little bit of Chael. There's something about his storytelling, his demeanor that reminds me a lot of Chael. 2 OGs of the fight game, and always enjoy speaking to him, getting his perspective. He is very honest. He came on social media right after that fight, which was a little bit shocking, and said, look, lay off the ref. I should have zigged when I zagged. I'll be back. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.